Welcome into the Wildcats Today podcast. Fun topic today. The Cats sweep. Carson, you got any props on you? You got any props on you? Yeah. Oh, look at that.
Get him out of here.
Look at that. Boom. The Cats sweep the Tennessee Volunteers. Mark Pope has never in any way, shape, or form lost to Tennessee. We're going to break it all down. We're going to talk about it on today's episode of the Wildcats Today podcast. I'm your host, Andrew Stefaniak, writer over at Kentucky Wildcats on SI, joined, as always, by Carson, Nash. Carson, I know that there's not much more that gets you fired up than beating Tennessee. What were the vibes like last night? How'd you feel?
The vibes were awesome. You know, as soon as you get a call afterwards from your dad who actually went to the game with Brent Isley, that Rupp Arena, the atmosphere was one of the best ever. You got to feel good about that. And what a way to do it than against the Dirty Vols.
Yeah. I mean, I was so proud of this team. There's been wins, but this win just felt different. When Lamont goes back down with that shoulder injury again, and your back's against the wall going, I mean, we don't have anybody that can dribble a basketball. And Trent freaking Noah in our corner right there. Oh, right in our corner right there. Player of the game. What a performance from Trent Noah. Talk about just not having a worry in the world. Going out there and letting that thing fly. I was so proud of that young man and the way he played in this game. This was, I think, and we talk about this a lot, and we talk about different players. Sometimes you need somebody to step up in March. Could that be Trent Noah for us? That'd be a lot of fun for all of us Kentuckians. Carson, what about Trent Noah?
The Mountain Mamba fails to disappoint, and the legend continues to grow. Trent Noah was outstanding last night, and not only was he a good shooter and made 3 of 4 from three-point land, but he was all over the place and assisting, making plays easier on teammates. I mean, he was everywhere, and I loved it.
He was, and that's what's great about it is he can shoot, but there's so much more he can do as a player. He hustles, he gets those rebounds that we have struggled to get at times. Early this year in the SEC play this year, he gets those rebounds for you, and he hustles and he plays defense. He does everything you need. But what about a total of 19 points from the Kentucky boys? Because Travis Perry gave you 8 as well. What'd you see from him in this one, Carson?
Yeah, Travis also is starting to come into himself. You know, we've always known Travis as being a lights-out shooter. It just took that confidence that he needed to find to become that at the college level, and it's starting to click for him, and that's really exciting because you saw him kind of double clutch on that 1-3 earlier in the game, but then he fired it up and made it, and that kind of took care of his confidence problem. He's like, oh, I can do this, and then made a big one in the second half as well. So, yeah, Travis excited me as well, and they just know what it means, especially against Tennessee. You know, that's a big rivalry, and they grew up with that, and so they know it means something a little different to them.
You did miss the brooms, Boff.
Here, I'll give him a better rendition of the brooms. Is he ready? Here he goes.
There we go. I dropped mine. I'll get it back. There you go. I picked it back.
I had to add a little tune to it.
And not enough time. We were legally allowed to do it.
Can't get me.
Yeah, take that. You know where that song's never been played, ever?
In a Final Four.
Never. You've never heard that song played in the Final Four. Isn't that funny? Whoever had that sign was credit to –
that was awesome.
It's been there before, but credit to that sign. It was a great sign. Ainsley Almanor, how many of his 13 came in the second half? He scored a lot in the second half.
It was a good bit. It might have been 11 in the second half. I could be wrong.
That and one.
Oh, man. That was –
how many – here's a serious question. I'd be curious to know. I'm actually going to pull this up. How many baskets has he scored that aren't 3-pointers this year? Like,
yeah, it can't be many.
Like our 6'7".
Even though he got two last night. The putback after the missed 3, which was a big putback, and then the and one where he actually looked like prime Melo. He took him, he hezzoed him, and took him to the rim and got the and one.
But I find it so funny because, I mean, he does not score a lot when it is not a 3-point basket. So that's why I think that was one of the biggest Rupp Arena pops of the year. And I think that you got that because no one was expecting that from Ainsley Hominor. I mean, Mike just said something down there. He said he literally popped a lung screaming when he made that and one. I mean,
it was awesome. It was awesome.
And then it's a fan favorite doing it on top of that. So I mean, you love that as well. But this team, I mean, that's what I love about this basketball team is they just, when their backs are against the wall, they find a way to win. They find a way to win games. I mean, you saw Jackson Robinson not play with a wrist injury. Lamont gets hurt in the game. You're playing without Kirk Reese still. No matter what you throw at Mark Pope, this team wins basketball games. And in this league, it says something serious about this team.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, I still can't get over it. You were down Jackson and Lamont, arguably your two best players, and you find a way to win with 8 minutes and 40 seconds left. You're tied at 54 apiece, and you outscore Tennessee 21-11 throughout the last 8 minutes and 40 seconds when all momentum seemed lost when you lost Lamont Butler. And so that just shows the dedication and the heart that this team has.
I agree with you. Did you see that call he's talking about?
That was the worst call.
One of the worst foul calls I've ever seen in my entire life. Because it was clear when watching it, he didn't get touched. And then you see it, again in slow motion, you're like, okay. Rupp Arena, I'm sure they gave the Zebras hell for that one. Which
there's a lot of rescue stuck chant going on.
Yeah. I like this too. We got lots of nicknames. We got the Lions.
I like that one too.
Do you like the Holler Baller or the Mountain Mama better? I like them both.
I like them both. Yeah, that's where I'm at. I mean, I think you could call them either. I think both are cool. I really like the Lion King for Travis though. That
is a good one. I do like that one as well.
Yeah, Himba.
But I mean,
Himba.
What about the fact that Kentucky is 2-0 against Tennessee, 1-0 against Duke, and 1-0 against Louisville? Mark Pope we're beating the teams that we really hate. And I love that. I mean, we do not like Tennessee.
He defeated the triangle of death.
Yeah.
All the teams we hate.
Yeah. We're going to have to give this out there. We got our first ever Cameron Coulter appearance in the live.
Welcome to the chat.
Welcome to the chat, Cameron Coulter. Shout out Doc. He's a big, he ordered, did I tell you this? Did I tell you that him and Cameron ordered the jersey? It says Tegatron, and Mike ordered one that says Mountain Mamba. They're going to wear in Nashville.
That's awesome.
That's
legit.
Yeah, I know. They're pretty, I kind of want one now. But it's just this team. What I do like about this basketball team, we set up well for the Sweet 16, Elite 8, Final 4. Round of 64, round of 32 is where I go, just because of the way we play the game and the way that we play down and up to competition. I mean, is it 7 top 15 wins now, 5 top 10 wins in year one?
Yeah, 7 top 15 wins. And the crazy thing about that is the first-year head coach to do that was Tubby Smith with the 97-98 national champions.
It's just this team always – in these big moments seem to play their best basketball, which is a good and bad thing. You could take positives and negatives away from that. I mean, you've lost games that you shouldn't have lost to Arkansas, and you get steamrolled in Oxford. And I mean, you've lost some basketball games that just leave us in Nashville. You lost some games that leave us scratching our head, but then you've won some that leave us scratching our head going, how did you win that game? So it sets up well, positively and negatively, for the future of this basketball team down the stretch. I mean, we've talked about the Kentucky guys. We've talked about some guys, but who else really? We talked about Ainsley. Who else stood out in this ball game for you, Carson, for us?
Oh, I thought Amari, when he was in, I thought he was playing good. The problem is when Garrison was in, he kind of got bullied a little bit on the defensive end. So Amari being in helped us out a lot. I thought Kobe hit some really clutch shots at the end of the game. Looked like James Harden a little bit, icing them. And then making that step back drew the defense out to where he was able to find Ortega on a screen and roll and hit him for the dunk that set Rupp on fire.
Beautiful pass on that. I mean, beautiful pass on that.
Yeah.
And now let's go down the negative rabbit hole. Okay. Let's play this game. You know, did you see Coach Pope's verbiage on Jackson? I didn't love it. You know, it was kind of the, you know, we might not see him for a little while. I bet he misses another game or two. Lamont, I mean, coming right back down on that same shoulder. I don't know. Okay. It was a beautiful dunk. Okay. It was a beautiful dunk.
It was a better cut than dunk. That was a smart play by Ortega.
Okay. We're throwing nicknames. If anyone else has a nickname idea, throw it in the comments. Mike, like, what do you think about this?
I just love calling him Mellow.
Or a Doom?
He's Mellow to me just because he wears 15, the headband from New York. He just loves Mellow.
So you're giving that a Doom? Or is it a Boom?
Double A battery.
No, yeah.
Just because he's the energizer off the bench, but now he starts.
Yeah. You know, looking at the way that Andrew Carr played in this game, he kind of I'm a little worried about him when it comes to the concerns of the rest of the year. Like, is he the last game before this against South Carolina, he looked better, but then this game, he looks a little. How concerned are you long term for Andrew Carr?
Yeah, I mean, and that's one of those injuries. Cam Boffin's actually going through it right now too. It's just the stiffness of the lower back. I mean, it's something that you kind of got to play through and just work out in progress. But that's a tough injury to come back from because I know there's a lot of pain involved in that. And so, but I think he's getting a little bit more back to healthy. Like, he's starting to be more physical and stuff. I know last night wasn't his best game, but just progressing his injury along will help us in the long run.
Yeah, I agree with you, but I think he's got to get healthy because I think he's the guy that's going to be stable for us in March. You need that guy that is going to find a way to give you 12, 13 every game. And he was getting those big baskets around the rim earlier. You know what's something I saw on Twitter, and I wanted to throw this at you and see your thoughts.
What?
I saw some people saying Trey Mitchell all over again. And I mean, it's hard to not make that reach. I mean, if y'all remember correctly, Trey Mitchell was great, and then he started to struggle down the stretch last year. I think that
it's the physicality. It's
the
physicality. They just weren't built for the physicality. But I trust in Andrew. And the good thing about Andrew Carr, different than Trey Mitchell, is he's 7 feet tall.
Yeah.
Trey was only about 6'8", 6'9".
That is true.
So I think that those inches really do help. But I mean, I think he's going to help us down the stretch. There'll be a game where we're like, dang, Andrew Carr, we needed him to be big. And he was, I guarantee it, because he's been so big for us at the beginning of the season against Duke, against Gonzaga. I mean, he's put up numbers against good teams. I don't think Andrew Carr's done just yet.
I don't think he is either. I just would like to see him get back out there and get back to getting those big buckets late in games. Because they, like you said, they did help us win against Duke and help us win against Gonzaga. And when we get into the month of March and we're playing these big games, whether in Nashville, whether in the tourney, you need to get those big late buckets from veteran players, and Andrew Carr can give it to you. So I want to see him get back to healthy in this ball game.
Okay, hey, let's play a game. I'm going to read you 2 stat lines,
okay,
and you guess the players of each of the stat lines, okay? All right, I got 3 for 13, 0 of 7 from 3 in 31 minutes with 10 points and 4 personal fouls. And then I got played for 19 minutes, 3 of 4 from 3, 11 points, 1 foul, 1 assist, 2 rebounds.
Is that Noah and Lanier?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. I mean, it's pretty funny. He's just keeping on with what he did the first time he was here in a North Florida jersey. Sucking. No disrespect. Wish him the best of luck. Not really. I hope they lose the first round of the tournament. They suck, by the way. I'm seriously.
I agree.
Well,
I said that on the podcast pre the game. I was like, they're not good.
We said that in July. I mean, we've been saying, but I'm just telling you, yes, they're good defensively. Tennessee, I mean, and they'll drop them to 7 or something. Who do they play on Saturday? They'll win on Saturday, and Tennessee will be 7. Tennessee is not that good. They are good, which I'm not. You sound a little silly. Like, well, yeah, we beat them twice. I think that we're a better basketball team than they are.
Oh,
I
I
don't think
agree.
we're very good.
Yeah.
If they play Vandy at home, that'd be funny if Vandy swept them. If Vandy today was pulling out the brooms, we might have to make Vandy today for one day and pull out the brooms if they win that game. But I just don't. I'm not good win for us. I mean, I'd rather win than lose. But still, I think they're overrated. They're not going to be a 1 seed. I think Florida's going to be a 1 seed in 14.
You know what frustrates me the most, Andrew? It's the people who say, man, if Tennessee could score, they would be a Final Four team easily. Well, if you flip the conversation, you say, man, if Kentucky could play some defense, they would be a Final Four team. But no one seems to do that. They seem to be like, oh, we're out on Kentucky. That's what I find ridiculous. Tennessee's not a good team. They can't throw water or freaking hit water from a boat, whatever. It's just – they're not good.
I mean, if you take the horn off a rhino, it's hippopotamus. I mean, yeah, I agree with you, but at the end of the day, you got to do it. Like, I mean, they aren't great.
Does a 3-legged dog walk in a circle? I mean, come on.
As I always say, if I ordered a truckload full of idiots and just got you, I'd got my money's worth. But Tennessee, seriously, which I love that. I love – there he is down there.
Yeah, that's a crazy okay.
But I don't think Tennessee's very good. I think that we're going to have 3 SEC 1 seeds. I think Florida, they're on a tear, and I think Bama. I think that we're going to have 3 SEC 1 seeds, and that's insane. But Tennessee ain't going to be one of them. But looking down the road for this Kentucky team, Carson, and we're going to preview the Texas game on 8:00 game, probably Friday. But what are your kind of quick? We'll keep talking about Tennessee, but y'all leave. Oh, there we go. So the other day we are going to talk about the Texas game. That'll be Friday. Carson, give me a real quick. What do we think about that game? How do you feel about it?
Yeah, that game. I just don't think Texas is that well put together of a team. They rely heavily on freshman Trey Johnson. He's a stud, but he's also one of those guys that can be inefficient at times. So I think forcing mid-range jump shots for Trey Johnson will be the key. I'd like to see us continue the defensive intensity, and I think we'll be just fine.
I agree. That kid, though, he's a mid-range specialist. Did you watch them last night against Bama?
Yeah.
Bama beat the crap out of him, but, I mean, he had over 20.
Exactly, but Bama beat them the way you want to beat them, right? I mean, just let him go for 25, but he'll miss 10 shots, and then they'll be mostly 2s, and you'll win by 10 or 15 points.
Exactly. So let's do this little thing where, for me with Texas, they're a good basketball team. I don't think they're elite. I think they're good. I think they're a team when you go play them, which, by the way, I looked this up. I believe this is the first time we've ever played basketball in Austin.
Dang, I didn't know that.
According to Texas's website, sometimes you can find the history of a team. This is the first time we've played in Austin. Anyone that's more of a history buff, if we're wrong on that, let us know in the comments. But I looked it up today. I believe it's the first time we played in Austin. So hopefully it goes better than our trip for football, because that did not end well. We covered, though. We did cover.
Hey, we won the day. Lost the battle, won the war.
I'll take that all day long. So looking at these next few games, Carson, kind of piggybacking, we talked about it a little bit earlier, but if we don't have Jackson and we don't have Lamont, let's say that's going to happen, talk about our concerns. If that happens on Saturday, how do you win that game? How would you go about that?
Yeah, I would run Kobe Bryant a lot more pick and roll because he is an assassin when it comes to that. He's actually a top 10 player in pick and roll efficiency. So I think put him in there, roll him, let him find. I mean, he's a really, really good passer. That's one thing that people don't know about him. He is a great assist to turnover ratio so far this season for not being a facilitator for us. So I say put him in a lot of pick and roll situations, let Trent and Travis kind of run around and get open. And I think go with that lineup. Like, I know we might get hurt on the defensive end, but on offense, they're not going to be able to guard us at all.
I mean, I think that if you don't have those guys, you have to make a lot of threes with Brea, and hopefully Noah stays hot. And you got to score the ball that way. You're just gonna have to shoot the lights out.
Otega and Kobe should run majority point guard, in my opinion, and then of course Travis can help run it too. I mean, there's no true point guard for our team. We have a bunch of guys that can pass the ball.
It does scare me a little bit, the thought of Travis Perry. I know he's playing better, but still like 22 Travis Perry minutes, knowing what he is defensively right now is a little bit intimidating as a Kentucky fan. You know, you got to be kind of like that going, ooh, I love how he's continuing to develop and get better game by game, but he is just not at that. Okay, is this true? Did he just look this up? Okay. See, this is why he's a doctor. Kentucky played in Austin, Texas in 2005 in NCAA tournament. We defeated Utah in the regional semifinal before a double overtime loss to Michigan State. I mean, does that – I kind of meant –
He meant against Texas, but
I think he
good
knows
call on the
that.
stat, Coulter. Good call. I like –
I'm in at the Moody Center. Have we played at the Moody Center, Doc? Let me know that one.
I liked it. Trying to prove Andrew wrong is fun. That was a good call.
It's a good stat. But where would you have played in Austin? You know what I mean? Like, they don't have a professional team, but it had to have been at Texas's court. So I guess we have played there. Good call out there. I'll tell you this. As I tend to be the more negative one between you and I, Carson, I do have a lot of concerns if we are playing Lamont-less and Jackson-less on Saturday. Just I like Amari playing the point guard position a few possessions a game. I don't like it a ton of possessions a game. Travis, then he scares me on the defensive end. So I have concerns going on the road. It's going to be a hostile place on Saturday. You know, the fans are going to be there. So I'm concerned about it if we don't have those two guys.
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely room to be concerned because I think they're our two best players. But I also think this team's starting to kind of turn a corner, especially on the effort side and defensive effort. And I mean, we turned Tennessee over 9 times, and they have a veteran backcourt with Zakai and Chaz Lanier. So an inexperienced backcourt like Texas has, and Trey Johnson holds the ball a lot. There's a chance to turn them over a good amount of times and make this game fast paced. And I think it'll help us out because I think I really do feel good about where our defense is at now because I thought it was a whole mentality thing instead of like we're not good at defense. But we do have to find a way to kind of hide Travis on the defensive end. Maybe that be more zone or just some different defensive looks. But I feel good in us.
I mean, I'm going to pick us to win probably when we do a preview. We won't do that today, but I have concerns. I'll love to see an injury report for that game. It would make me if Lamont and Jackson are both out when that initial injury report comes out. I don't love to see that. I would love to see one and or both of them questionable, and then even if they don't play, and you lose this game, which would stink, whatever, or hopefully you win. But if you were to lose it, you know that they're out. You're not out long term. We've put ourselves in a position where if we just don't fumble before we pass the goal line with the football, we should be a 3 or 4, probably worst case scenario, a 5 seed. We just can't fall down the stairs with 3 pizzas. If we do that, that's when we're.
That's exactly why I think they might take their time in getting them back too.
Yeah.
Because I think you can win on Saturday without them. So I think maybe proceeding with precautions might be a good idea on Saturday because if you win on Saturday without them and then you get Vandy at home, I mean, those are 2 winnable games. So you win those 2 games and now you're back to where you want to be. And with the shot, is it Alabama the following weekend?
That's what I was going to say.
And then they can return that
22nd.
game. Mm-hmm.
22nd. So that means you have 10 days to get healthy for that game. I would be cool. I think without those 2, we worst case scenario go 1-1. I don't think we lose to Vandy even without them at home. I just don't see it happening. They're feisty. They're feisty at home, but they're not. Mm-hmm. They've not been great on the road. So I think that if we just show up and play well there,
I would agree with this comment, but I would also say that I don't really think that's going to happen. I think that kind of flipped the switch for most of our guys. Like, hey, we kind of got our asses kicked here. We need to figure something out. It's a real gut check time, and I think they turned the corner.
But I feel to push back on what you're saying, and I kind of agree with what Steve just put up there. Like that's what we said the last time. We beat Tennessee, and then we know what happened on Saturday, and that obviously that Saturday.
Yeah, but South Carolina was kind of a sucky team coming into Rupp. Like that could have easily been a letdown game, and we came out with a really high. For me, it's just defensive effort. Like turning over Tennessee 9 times is something we haven't seen this season. Like that is different. So for me, that's a very high positive, and I think we did kind of turn the corner just a tad bit.
It is, but I agree with you, but at the same time, it's like 9 turnovers. Like 9, we really got to start turning teams over. You know what I mean? Like, and I know it's not a strength of our team, but how you win a championship is through the tail end of the season. You take your weaknesses that, aren't the best parts of your game, but they don't kill you often, and you get better. I would love to see us start turning teams over 13, 14 times because we shoot the ball so well. If you get 4 or 5 more shots per game, that can be 10, 12 points every game. Extra shots are more points for us. Turnovers give them less shots, give us more. I'll take that all day long.
Yeah, 100%. I thought we did a good job last night in that category. And only holding them to 11 assists. They didn't really get any good open looks.
That was great.
I thought the defensive effort has been great. Holding them to 64 points. I know they're not a great offensive team, but still they're SEC. You're not going to run into any teams that are as good as defense as Tennessee, and you put up 75 on them without Lamont and Jackson for Lamont majority of the game, but Jackson was out the whole game. So it was a battle, but I'm proud of the guys, and I think you're starting to see a little magic happen with them.
We have 2. I agree with this. I do think that we need a healthy point guard in the month of March because it does help you create turnovers and us not turn the ball over ourselves. This would be fun if this did happen. I just tell you, I think that the tournament committee does like. I talk about the narratives. I think that the tournament committee loves this stuff, that they would love to make that happen if they could do it. So, we've already seen Lenardi put out a couple different bracketology updates with us. If we win our first game playing St. John's, like they're gonna try to make that a reality. That'd be a really fun ball game if we ended up playing. It'd be coach versus captain. It'd be.
They're
fun.
A lot like Texas A&M. They play kind of small-ish, and then they're very, very good at defense. So
yeah. But that would be a fun. I can already see it. Coach first captain on posters. Like that'd be a fun. It'd be fun if we win, not if we lose. Then it'd be annoying. But
I think we beat them.
I think we would too. But so I guess talking more big picture, Carson. What are some things? Obviously, defense. We've talked about create more turnovers. But what are some things to expand on that you would like to see this team from today, February 12th, to March 15th or for 15th, 13th would be our probably first game of the SEC tournament. What would you like to see us improve on?
Getting healthy. That's really the first thing. Honestly, this team has, when our defensive effort is up, I feel like we're a good enough defense to beat anybody. And our offense is lethal. So I feel like getting healthy is really just the biggest thing, because when Lamont and Jackson are on the court with all of our guys on the bench, we can throw so many guys at you. They're all starting to play a lot better too. So bringing back our veteran leaders and stars, mixing them with these guys who have gotten better every game, it's going to be exciting to watch if we can get that to finally happen.
I agree with you. All right, let's do a little prediction type of thing here. You've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 games left, right? Are we 7-5?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. No, that's not right. No, we're 7-4. What are we?
We might be 6.
We're 6-5.
6-5. Yeah.
We've
had our bye. We haven't had our bye, or
Yeah.
we already had our bye. My bad.
So we're 6-5. We've got 7 SEC games left. You play at Texas on Saturday. You host Vandy, owe them some revenge. You go to Tuscaloosa, scary, very scary. They're playing good ball right now. You go to Oklahoma. Auburn comes to Lexington. You host LSU, and you go to Missouri, who's now somehow good. How do you think in this stretch of games we finish things? And give me like maybe a healthy prediction and we're still banged up prediction.
Okay. Well, you're going to be banged up probably the next 2 for sure.
Yeah.
But I honestly think you win both of those games. I really do believe that. I think you beat Texas and you beat Vandy. Bama, I'd probably say you lose. I think you beat Oklahoma. I'm going to wait to think about Auburn. And then you beat LSU. Missouri and Auburn, I think, are toss-ups just because Auburn is at home. And hopefully by then, I mean, it's March 1st. So hopefully by then you're fully healthy. So I would say 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. What is it? This thing's like glitching out on me.
We got 7 games left. So you're saying
7 games
3?
left. I think you win 5 of the 7.
I do too. Now I think that we're going to, I don't know. I've changed my opinion. I think we're going to lose on Saturday. I think we're banged up. I think we're going to struggle. I don't think it's going to be an effort loss. I think it's going to be a we're hurt. I think we then beat Vandy, lose to Alabama, and then win out. That's my prediction. I think that at Oklahoma doesn't scare me. They're not great. Auburn's really good, but they just haven't won here since the moon landing. And we play well in those games.
It'll probably be game day. I'd assume it's a Saturday.
Yeah, it'll be game day. It'll be it'll be game day. Rupp Arena is going to be fired up. I think that we win that game.
How about Rupp Arena, by the way, for a second? It feels like Rupp's gotten back to like the old scary Rupp Arena where no one wants to play. Everyone's bought back in. It's exciting.
I mean, the crowds that I've been to this year have been absolutely incredible. I mean, still, and I hate bringing it back up, but that Arkansas game, I mean, you were there. Insane. And I know that did not end the way we wanted it to end, but absolutely insane atmosphere. Florida was incredible. Texas A&M was great. I mean, the atmosphere's been, they've been great this year. You don't want to play here. You don't want to play here. The way this team plays, especially if you are a team, I think, losing that Alabama game stinks, but I think that the Auburn game is a great example. You know how juiced up this place is going to be for that basketball game? Good luck, man. Good luck. Like, seriously. So,
especially with all the implications that'll probably be had at that point of the season with standings and everything else that matters.
Now, this is bold. So that means wins over Auburn and Bama in Tuscaloosa. That
would be nuts. But that would be so on par with
at that point, though. I'd be kind of mad if you beat those two and then lose to Missouri. I'd be a little angry, like almost.
Yeah, that would be absolutely absurd. I mean, then your wins are like the best wins of any season ever. Like, think about it. If you go on the road and you beat Alabama and you beat Auburn at home, you have some of the best wins you've ever had in this program.
Yeah. No, you're right about that. So statistically, looking at Alabama's schedule, they played one of the easier first kind of halves, and their backstretch is insane. I'm pretty sure every game is ranked for them. They got us. They've got Florida. They've got Auburn twice. They've got a heck of a schedule. Bama's going to come down to earth a little bit, and they're going to get into the rougher part of their schedule, and they're going to get their, nicks and bruises and banged up, and because they're getting into this tougher part. I think that Bama's going to come down to earth. If we could go there and win, I also want to pull up who they play before us, because it would be really ideal if they just shot bad, or if they shot lights out in that game.
They play Missouri at Missouri on that Wednesday before they play us.
See, I don't like that.
Wednesday at 9. That's a quicker turnaround than most times.
Yeah, but we need them. We need them to shoot lights out and win that game by 30. because we ran into it last time. They shot like crap. Wasn't the game before us, before they
Yeah,
came to
they
us when they
lost.
got hammered by Ole Miss at home,
Mhm.
scored like 50
Yeah.
points. You do not want to catch them after a game where they are cold, because that's why I don't believe they're going to go deep in March, because those teams, don't always tend to work out. You can make the same argument for us, to be fair.
Mhm.
But we're a little different than they are. I think that their offense ours is more sustainable. There's, more passing and more. So it's going to be a tough end of the stretch. I think, okay, so let's kind of play. You tell me where a seed line changes, Carson. Okay, we'll play this little game. So that means if we're both predicting us to finish 5-2, which let's not act like that's going to be easy. That's not going to be. I mean, 2-3 is very realistic. Like, this is, especially banged up, this could go lots of different ways. Love to be over 500 these last 7 games though. But let's say you do that. Let's say you go 5-2. So right now you are 6-5. So if you went 5-2, you'd be 11-7, right? So 11-7 in the SEC. What's that would give us 9 total losses, right? Because we have 2 losses outside of conference. What seed are we? What seed are we? If we're 11, if we're
11-7,
9 losses, 11-7 in the SEC play.
What are we? 20? Would that make us 21 wins? 21-9.
Wouldn't it be 22?
11-7 in
31 games.
What is it? 31 or 30?
I think it's 31. Right?
Okay, then.
What are we overall right now?
I would say, I mean, I would give us a 3 seed at that point. I mean, because then you would have had to at least beat Mizzou at Mizzou, or Auburn or Alabama, somebody. So I would still give us a 3 seed.
Okay, now, but where did that drop off happen? Okay, so let's say we go 10-8. Are we a 4 seed now? Or are we still a 3 seed?
It depends on the losses. So
this is interesting.
I think.
Do you think that's possible? I mean, you can't tell me there's not a chance with how good this conference is.
I think there's a chance just because our wins are so good. Like our wins are so good, they're going to have to value us higher because of that. And other teams and other conferences don't have the wins that we do.
Do you agree or disagree here? What are your thoughts? Depends
on when we play. Because, like, if we play on Wednesday night or Thursday, then maybe. But I don't think it would affect us if we, like, played on Friday and lost. Because you're going to be playing against, like, Tennessee or somebody good.
Yeah. So, we currently are 8th in the SEC. 8th makes you that last. You play on Thursday to open up the tournament in the SEC. Did you ever get an email from them, by the way?
Not yet.
That's weird. So we're sitting at 8 right now in this conference. If the teams below us, I mean, Mississippi State, Vandy, Georgia, I think they're going to go away. I feel pretty safe about us opening up on Thursday in Nashville. It would now, if you go 5-2, that would give us, if we win 5-2 to finish things out, which once again, that's not easy in any shape, way, or form. That gives you 7 SEC losses, as we said. I don't see a way in the world you get into Friday with 2 1-loss teams, and right now you've got A&M and Florida both with 3 losses. I know that you got the heads.
The only thing is you have the head-to-head over everyone above you.
Yeah.
Like if you beat Missouri, if you beat Missouri and beat Auburn, then you have the head-to-head over both of those teams, and then it becomes Florida, A&M, and you have the head-to-head over them. The only one, Ole Miss, could steal a spot too.
I think they're going to fall off the map a little bit. I think we'll end up being above them. My guess, if I had to throw a dart right now, I'd say that we're the 6th seed in the SEC. That'd be my guess. I think that we're going to go 4. I think the most realistic response for us is to go 4-3 and I think if we go 4-3 and we're 10-8 in SEC play, I would say that probably puts us at the 6th spot. I think Tennessee is going to fall off more. I think Missouri is going to fall off. I think Ole Miss will fall off. and I think they'll be around this. We've got some tiebreakers there. And then I think Florida, A&M, Alabama, Auburn are in those top 4 spots, if I had to guess right now. But so I don't know, Steve, to pull this, we'll pull this back up. I don't now, not talking about our record. Do you buy this from what we've seen from the tournament committee over the last few years? Do you buy this, that it will affect the results? I'll tell you my opinion. I think that it depends where you are. If you are a team that is a bubble team and you are trying, that's, to me, the top chunk of the brackets made.
I think if you go 5-2, you're good at wherever you're at. Wherever they have you at that point. Well, it could now, if you're 5-2 and they're like, you're a 2 seed, but if you lose a game, you're like on that 3 seed line, it could affect that way. But I don't see a way that you're solidified as a 3, because 5-2 is going to get you 3 seed, and it probably gets you a decent 3 seed. So I don't see how one loss to a good SEC team would bump you out of that. Especially,
I mean, if you do the math on that, if we were the 6 seed, you're probably playing a Georgia, Texas, Vandy type of team who they're all on a neutral site. That would be a quad 1 game.
Quad 1.
So it'd be a quad 1 loss in the SEC tournament to open things up. Like I don't. I'm also a believer, just based on the results of the SEC tournament and all of these conference tournaments. This is true too. It's true. The parity is going to be interesting in college basketball, like where everybody shapes up. I think how good did you see the SEC? It started out so good, and then now the teams are 82-82 against one another.
That was an insane comment.
Was he joking, or did anyone?
No,
let us know in the comments if y'all saw that.
He was serious. It was insane, and I'm like, what in the world are you talking about?
I mean, we've fallen off the map a little bit. We're 82-82 since January 4th. Like, it's just not been the same as out of non-conference. It's been ugly. I mean, we're sitting right at 500. I mean, that's not going to get the job done. I think that all the SC teams might be going home early in March. It's just the reality.
I would too, Steve. I would take a 3 seed as well, because I think anything 1 through 3 I want, because that 4-5, I don't want to play the 5 or the 4 seed in that second round game. I'd much rather be on the bottom of the bracket.
So I think that we're going to open this thing up on Thursday in the SEC tournament. I think a 3 seed would be perfect. I think 4 and 3 get in. I think 10 and 8 in SEC play.
I think a 4 and 3 gets you a 3 seed too. I really do.
Now you're still probably you're gonna have to win a game that you're probably not supposed to, and win some games that you're probably.
Well, I also think if Lamont and Jackson are out for a little longer and you can scrap by some wins without them, they'll value those a little higher, and maybe value the losses a little less. Because you don't have your guys.
Yeah, but looking at this, the standings right now, this is it'll be fun to see how this all shakes out. There's still a lot of games left.
Yeah, this is a great comment. That was nasty. He took Zakai off the bounce, and I was like, he's going to stop and pull up, but no, he goes straight to the rack and hits him with a running floater. That was exciting. I was like, Zakai got cooked.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's what happens when you're 5'4". How tall is Travis? 6'1". Good. Zakai, is he done after this year?
He's got to be. I mean, he's got to be.
I hope we're done with him. Actually, I hope we're not.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
it's funny. He had a pretty good game last night, and he still sucks.
Yeah,
we're anti Zakai Ziegler here on this podcast.
That late turnover he had when he just threw it out of bounds, I was like, classic Zakai.
He showed up when it mattered the most.
Yeah, he's a big blue guy at heart.
Yeah, that was right up there with Cooper Flagg's spinny circle, throw it out of bounds.
That he's done 3 times.
Yeah, since he's done about 8 times this year total. I'd love to see us go make something, because we're going to be in Nashville, but I would love to see us make a move in Nashville. It'd just be a ton of fun. Like, winning that thing's fun this year.
I also think Steve's point could be a counter argument as to if you win a couple games in the SEC tournament that are big games, then that could also help propel you a seed line or 2.
I need to see something happen. Like, I think Steve's right at the this should have an effect on it, but it just feels like it doesn't. I mean, the track record.
It has screwed us over in the past. They have screwed us over in the past for losing early in that tournament. And I feel like it doesn't matter. Sunday does not matter at all. The championship game doesn't matter. It's the games for Saturday and Friday that matter the most. And they will drop you seed line or boost you seed line based on those outcomes.
I think winning one game is crucial. You have to, if you win one game,
what
happens from there, it's all, I think maybe you, like, if we were the number three seed, do I think that's going to bump?
Well, I'm saying, like, if you're battling Tennessee for like that 2 seed and you play them and you're the first 3 seed and they're the last 2 seed, they'll flip us. They'll put us as the last 2 seed and them as the first 3 seed.
Yeah. So this will be interesting. Like, I'd love for it to matter more than I feel it does. And it frustrates me because if we're playing it, and it's almost why, wow, it was annoying that Cal went there just to go to Roberts Special World for 10 minutes and then go home every year. I mean, I almost kind of get it because it really, to me personally, I'm very anti the SEC tournament. Yes, there'll be some cases where it helps the bubble team or it moves a 2 seed to a 3, but I feel like the whole body of work, it really doesn't change. And this is not just the SEC. This is the entire ACC, Big 12, all these tournaments. So
what do you think?
I mean, I've made my cliche. I think that if you want better quality baseball, you watch the SEC tournament, not Omaha. And I think this year it's the same thing. I think that there's going to be basketball teams. I mean, Arkansas.
Well, that's what I said in
Oklahoma.
the last pod. When's the last time we've been a better seed in the NCAA tournament than we have in the SEC tournament?
Yeah, exactly. But I mean, like, there's teams here, Arkansas, Oklahoma, Texas, that I think are all the second or third best team in pretty much every other conference. That's the reality. I mean, like, I think you got Duke, and I think that Duke is really, I think they're really good. I am bought in on Duke. But after that, I think every SEC team is better than every other. I mean, it feels like, not, you know what I mean? Not everywhere, but I think the SEC tournament this year is going to be a bloodbath, and it's going to be fun. And I'd love to be a part of it. I would love to be. Last year, you know, we win and we show up, and Wade Taylor. That might be why we don't like Wade Taylor, because we went all the way down there, spent all that money just for him to bounce us. Maybe that's why we don't like Wade Taylor. But you know, it was the Wade Taylor Bowl. And I would love to, you know, go back on Saturday for a game and go back on Sunday for a game. I want that. So, Mark Pope, you said you were going to do it in your speech. Let's make it happen. I want to see this team do well in Nashville because, I mean, it matters to me. Does it matter to you? Does it matter to y'all in the comments? Carson, does it matter to you?
It definitely matters to me. I mean, we own this conference. We always have. So it'd be good to get back to it.
Yeah, but that's the thing. Is like, you know, I think I think Kentucky fans – we're having to learn how to be a new fan because of the change to our own conference. We were so used to, you know, not caring about that thing and not caring about winning the regular season SEC title because we've won it a million times. Who cares, right? It's much more valuable now than it was 4 or 5, 10 years ago. And I take pride in winning it now. I know we've won a lot, but I'd like to win more. You know, I want to get tired of winning. That's the reality. So, I would love to see it, you know, matter to this program. And I think Coach Pope has made it very clear that it does. Yeah,
no, I agree. I think they'll be ready. I mean, you've seen in the past couple of years when we had Cal, it just seemed like the team wasn't ready. That won't be the case this year. They're going to go out there and give it their all. And I just think being healthy by then is the biggest thing, because I really do like this team and like where we're at right now. And I just want to build on that. And I'm starting to get excited about the future.
That's a fun stat. So, man, Cameron, you might have to come on here more often. This is you're putting some helpful conversation stuff in here.
He's our analytics guy. And
yeah, analytic is they call him Dr. Analytics, Dr. Stat. But that's crazy. So that right there answers. I'll pull it back up. That right there answers that to me. Yes, because that shows you that there are 8 SEC teams. If the ACC and the SEC were one conference, but it wasn't, it would go, Duke would be there. And then you've got all these SEC teams. Duke's really good. And then Clemson, and then you probably
and then all these SEC teams,
and then Louisville,
and then Wake Forest, and then all these SEC teams,
exactly.
and then Pitt, and then all the SEC, and then maybe Louisville, and then maybe.
Where is Louisville and KenPom? Actually, Cameron, you've already got to pull it up. Where's Louisville and KenPom? I know that they're not. It's not great.
I think
that they're in the.
They're on fraud watch for me right now.
I think they're in the top 50 because it's still quad one game first, but I'm pretty sure they're in that 40 to 50 range.
They are Wildcats Today fraud of the week.
Yes, they're fraud of the year. This is true. That's not going to be an easy game. We're going to go play on Saturday in Austin, and then when we go to play them in Norman, we're going to see 2 lottery picks that aren't on very good. Oh man, okay. Well, still, that's a little higher than I thought. You should get bumped for playing in a dog crap conference. My opinion, they should be 39. Like I think UNLV. I think that McNeese State. I think you should have the North Texas Mean Green all above them because they play in a stupid conference. Just my opinion.
KenPom has been a little skewed this year too. I think yeah, I agree. I just don't believe in the ACC at all. Like at all. I think they're not a good conference.
Yeah, but that Oklahoma game, Alden's right. I mean that they got a lottery pick themselves and Jeremiah Fears. And
he's a stud. We recruited him coming out. He was a reclass, but he's been a stud for them. But that's why you need Lamont healthy for that game because you just pair him up with him.
But I'm just telling you that mix of is it Jalen Moore? I know it's Moore. Oh yeah, Jalen Moore, who averages almost 18 a game, and then Jeremiah Fears. That you got 15 and a half and 17 and a half from those 2 guys over there at Oklahoma. They got a good duo there, and not an easy game. No way is that an easy game. I mean, but once again, it's kind of like I think you're kind of doing the apples to oranges debate because it's like there's Auburn and Alabama, and then there's Oklahoma. Oklahoma's really good, but they're not on that level. So while they're it's not like continuing to dunk on the ACC. It's not like we're talking about playing Alabama and then playing Auburn and then playing Wake Forest.
So Alabama is probably a quad 1A game, and Oklahoma is a quad 1B game. They're still tough. It's just they're not the same.
I think the last. There's a great one. How do you feel about that, Carson?
Yeah, I mean, you can't feel bad, right? I mean, you sell him on the Caleb Williams role fit. I mean, I honestly think he's a better fit than Caleb Williams or what?
He's pretty good for the Bears. You mean Caleb Wilson?
Yeah, why am I blanking on his name? We've been doing this.
He had no K rookie year for the Bears, but I don't know why he would apply to our basketball team.
Caleb Wilson.
Oh, jeez. Got it.
All right. But yeah, I think Ament's a better fit for our program because he can shoot it from the outside a little better than Wilson could. So, I mean, I always thought he was probably a Duke lean. I probably still feel that way, but it couldn't hurt. It definitely couldn't hurt watching them
Louisville's
up on Tennessee twice.
Is Louisville not in the lead for him right now?
No, I would consider Duke a leader for him.
When it comes to Nate Ament, I will buy more into the smoke when there's more smoke. I don't feel like there's much right now. There is. I mean, he's here. Wow.
There was a lot of Duke early on, and I feel like when you get a lot early on and then it's silent, it's kind of still Duke. And then you'll see it at the end of when he's getting ready to make a decision, then that's when you'll kind of start to see what's really going on.
Yeah. On threes, the percentages, Duke, Tennessee, Louisville, we're way down the ladder. They don't update these all as well, but that often. But yes, it's Duke's in the lead there. We're trying. I mean, we're trying to make up ground. We'll see what happens. I'd love to make up some ground there and get him because I think he's a good fit. And we talked about it. If you don't get him, we're going power forward shopping. There you go. Love that.
That's funny.
Let you remember that.
Andrew can't win a fantasy football championship to save his life, so he probably doesn't even know who Caleb Williams is. He was in last place of the league. So
first of all, no, the guy that was in last place of the league is right here, and he still needs to go to Waffle House, and we're not going to forget that. I just said it on live TV or whatever this is considered. You're going to Waffle House, or in Nashville, we can find something else for you. I don't know what it'll be. You're allowed to pick that, but Waffle House is what you're doing. If you don't, we'll pick.
It's the reenact Wicked.
but we got to do something he wouldn't enjoy. So there you go. All right, Carson, you got anything else before we get out of here?
That's all I got. That was a big win. It's always good to beat the Dirty Vols, and Mark Pope doesn't lose with the Vols, and they're losing their minds on social media. Like everything's falling apart for them.
I had a fan. I never do like, okay, see, there we go. We'll figure it out. We'll get back to you on that. Robert's West World. If you want to leave a comment on the actual YouTube video of some potential ideas of what Cameron should have to do, let us know, or throw them in here right now. It's what you get for coming in last place fantasy football. Yeah, I'm not a big social media debate person. I'm just not. I don't do that. Once again, not something he would enjoy. He would enjoy that. I've seen that dude eat 2 pizzas. And he did the 9 for 9 hot dog beer challenge. So he can, yeah. And a Tennessee fan, I saw it was like a Kentucky edit, and I watched it, and the comments pulled up, and it was this guy like making fun of Lamont's injury, and I was just winning on this guy. I've never commented on a TikTok in my entire life.
They would have probably booed if Lamont got hurt at their place. They'd have been like, "Oh, he's stopping the game on purpose. Let's throw mustard on the field."
Yeah. Do you know who this is talking about? I don't.
I have no idea.
If anybody knows the player, I do not know. I don't know what we're talking about right there. So, but yeah, I mean, that's all I got. Carson, let's
that's a fun one. Dude, I'm telling you, there's nothing better. I mean, the Eagles win the Super Bowl on Sunday and the Cats beat the Vols on Tuesday. I mean, I am on cloud 9. Let's just keep this going and throw some horns down later on Saturday.
Yes. Oh, Burl Brew will be there. Horns down in it.
Burl Brew. They're going to see a lot of that.
A lot of horns down. I'm really excited about that. We need to be able. I've always wanted to do that, so we need the chance to do it. I need that. So, hey, thanks for stopping in, everybody. We really, really appreciate y'all. Follow our Twitter. Put it up there, Carson. Up there. Follow our Twitter. We post a lot of stuff on there. A lot of memes. We've gotten big into the memes of late. They're pretty funny. So go check those out. We also let y'all know when we're putting out a podcast, when we're going live. So go follow the Twitter. Really appreciate y'all stopping in. Got a big game coming up on Saturday. We will preview it on Friday. Hope everyone has a great rest of their day today, and we'll see y'all next time on the Wildcats Today podcast.